Hi everyone, my name is Ray from Ray Love Coaching. Today I'm going to talk about something a little personal and hard to talk about. It's not new, and I try not to talk about something that fresh on me and has been healed. But today we're going to talk about breakups. And as you might not already know, I'm polyamorous, and I want to kind of talk about what a polyamorous breakup taught me about love, grief, and healing, and how different it might be slightly from a monogamous mindset and relationship. So, of course, they're never easy. But in non-traditional relationships like polyamory, they can feel especially complicated and often really misunderstood. And when one relationship ends, it doesn't just end, it ripples. You may lose a partner, but you also feel the shockwaves in your other relationships, your community, and even your sense of identity. And sometimes, like myself, you may even question whether or not you should be doing relationships this way. And it's really your orientation, your identity. That's big. To make it harder, people outside of polyamory often dismiss the pain of your breakup. They'll say things like, at least you still have your other partners, as if that makes it easier. But the truth is, having other partners doesn't erase heartbreak. And sometimes it makes it even harder because the loss reshapes how you relate to everyone else. And that includes your other relationships. So picture this. You end a relationship with someone who also has ties with your other loves. Maybe they're an acquaintance to your long distance partner, or a casual friend with your live-in partner, and a really close friend with somebody else that you're had a long-term relationship with. After the breakup, they still want to orbit socially, and maybe you do too. Or maybe your worlds are so intertwined in this polycule or whatever. And the other people might have expectations as well. And they might even be inviting you both to these things, public things. And all while you and them haven't had the closure that you need to even be talking to each other. And suddenly you're not just grieving. You're also managing awkward dynamics, not just between the two of you or for yourself, but also these really close ties and the pressure to keep the peace between not just that ex and you, but also with everybody else involved. And polyamorous breakups often resemble other entwined endings, like co-parenting after divorce, sharing custody of a pet, or working with an ex. These bonds don't just vanish, and the threads stay woven into your life. The difference is that polyamorous relationships aren't always seen as valid, so the grief often gets overlooked. But polyamorous love matters. Love is love, right? And grief is grief, and losing, it reshapes everything. In our culture, we're told to move on quickly, but relational health is just as essential as food, sleep, and movement. If you don't process loss, it lingers in your body, on your nervous system, and in how we show up for one another. And during the holidays, which are coming up soon, right now it's August 2025, heartbreak feels sharper. The absence of someone who once shaped our traditions, the stress of gatherings, the pressure to look joyful, all of it can make grief louder. Yet the end of the year also invites reflection. Who have we been? Who are we becoming? What kind of family and community do we want to build? And you might start realizing it's not what it was, nor what you want it to be anymore, even with the people you're currently with. This is where my confidence coming out process becomes a roadmap. It was created to help people live and love authentically, but it also offers powerful tools for moving through heartbreak. So here's some 6 steps out of the 7 steps that I provide, but they're a brief framework for what the confidence coming out process is all about. So step 1, take inventory. So know where you are and really allow yourself to understand what you're coming with, because grief is hard. Heartbreak is messy. So ask yourself, what am I feeling? Of course, no one wants to feel that because it's probably like all the time, especially in the beginning, but really allow yourself to write it down. And we have a list for that because sometimes words don't come to us, but Where do you feel in your body? Like what sensations are occurring when those feelings occur? And what's mine to carry? And what belongs to other people's expectations or maybe even our past history, from our parents and from their parents' parents. And so where that comes from is our story. What are we telling ourselves about this? And what are we making it mean about us? Our ingrained beliefs land there. And once we have that all fleshed out, then we can move on to our affirmations and start rewriting the script that we've been telling ourselves over this. So breakups stir up old stories, right? And it might be something like, I'll be abandoned if I set my boundaries. Like if I have to say, hey, this isn't working for me, I need X, Y, and Z, I'm going to leave you here and see, like, if you come back to me and say, okay, I thought about it, and that's what I need. Or it might be, hey, I'm freaking out and like this person wants so much from me. I'm afraid if I give an inch of something, I'll lose my independence. I'll be trapped and I won't be able to work through that. I just don't have the skill. Like I'm not capable. I'm defective in some way. These stories that we tell ourselves, these ingrained beliefs, they're not 100% true. And that's what the point of the affirmations is to remember times in our history when I've done something different and the result ended up different. So if it's something like, I will be abandoned if I set my boundaries, just think of like small boundaries that you've set with yourself. And if anything, it's the reverse of abandonment, right? It's like you're acknowledging yourself through the boundary. Or if you set boundaries with, with other people, was there any example of somebody being like, wow, that actually worked? Try to find these things. And if it might take a while, right? And go through the 7 areas of your life that will really help, like your career, your finances. How have you stood up for yourself? And when did abandonment not happen? When did people show up? When did you show up? When did it actually help instead of hinder? So step 3, containerizing. In polyamory, exes often stay connected just because it's such a small community, but also because they're tied into your life in some way. And boundaries are essential. For example, maybe a boundary could be, I won't attend group hangouts with my ex until I'm ready. And maybe I might not ever be ready. Maybe there's like reasons for that. And knowing what those reasons are to be within that container, to be able to be in consent with yourself around hanging out, and what if those aren't met, just keep yourself in that container. Only be in the space of what feels good. So this protects your healing and prevents unfinished business from spilling into other connections. And the hard part is you're going to have to talk to your other connections. You're also going to have to set some parameters and containment and boundaries with your other connections. And it might be like, hey, I'm really not ready right now to hear how that thing went with my ex. I don't want to know if they contacted you. I'm fine with them doing that, obviously, or you doing that, but I'm not available for support in that way. So please go to somebody else. And of course, if they continue doing it, they're walking over your boundaries, and you can then do your own work to be like, okay, I need to step back. So step 4 is the care package. Healing requires self-soothing. So breath work, journaling, movement, or reaching out to a friend or a therapist, counselor, coach can meet your needs without placing all the weight on current connections, especially ones that are connected that directly to something that you're healing from. That might not be the right place. I know I've done it. It's not the best practice. Having a self-care practice where you are caring for your needs and knowing what those are. And it might be what that ex provided you. Like, what was it that you're grieving over? It might be that they provided novelty, or they provided emotional connection and comfort in some way. Might even be sexual, it might be something like that. And knowing, how can I meet those needs now for myself? And it might not involve anybody. You can meet those needs on your own and find little ways to meet those needs. Step 5, ritual. So the holidays are coming, the season of, fall, autumn, if you're from this area, and winter. It's August 2025. I'm feeling the cool and the rain already. And so holidays or this time of the year come with a lot of rituals already. But heartbreak really calls for these personal ones because they help us get back to remembering what's important. lighting a candle, dedicate a dance to, the next phase in life, creating a playlist of resilience, maybe writing a letter and burning it instead of sending it to your ex or whatever. Rituals remind you, I am safe. I'm healing. I can do this. I'm whole. Step 6, your why. As the year turns, revisit your why. Ask, why am I choosing love this way? Is this right for me? What values guide me? How do I want to show up in relationships in the year ahead? And use that. Have that next to you every morning, every night, um, and with your affirmations. Just reminding yourself what's important and why you're even caring for yourself in the first place. So heartbreak, especially when dismissed and misunderstood, is part of being human. And in many ways, it's essential to living well. It teaches us to release illusions, to challenge who we are and who we think we are, and to redefine what family means on our own terms. This holiday season, as you gather, reflect, and prepare for a new year, let heartbreak guide you back to yourself. Remember, the way we meet grief says as much about our health as the way we nourish our bodies. And the confidence we cultivate in these tender moments carries us into the new year with greater authenticity, courage, and connection. So if this resonates with you at all, or if you're just curious, check out my website at raylifecoaching.com. And I have free resources if you just go to the free resource tab, or please subscribe to my YouTube channel at Ray Life Coaching. And thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.